Good day, everyone, and have a blessed Sunday. Today, we will discuss Moses and Aaron confront the king of Egypt. The first discussion that we will tackle is God calls Moses. So, why God calls Moses? When God came down at the holy mountain, God calls Moses to send to the king of Egypt so that Moses can lead the people of God, which are the Israelites, out of the Egypt country. It is because God saw how the Israelites people suffering and being treated in Egypt. The next one is Moses complains to God. Moses complains to God that he is just nobody, and he has a lot of excuses that God begins to get annoyed because Moses showed off his unfitness and showed distrust of God. The third one is the family record of Moses and Aaron. Now the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron about the Israelites and Pharaoh king of Egypt, and he commanded them to bring the Israelites out of Egypt. These were the heads of their families. The sons of Reuben, the firstborn son of Israel, were Hanok and Palu, Hezron and Carmi. These were the clans of Reuben. The sons of Simeon were Jimwell, Jamin, Ohad, Chakan, Zohar, and Shaul, the sons of a Canaanite women. These were the clans of Simeon. These were the names of the sons of Levi, according to their records: Jarshan, Kohath, and Merari. Levi lived 137 years. The sons of Jarshan by clans were Libni and Shimi. The sons of Kohath were Amram, Ijar, Hebron, and Uzel. Kohath lived 133 years. The sons of Merari were Mali and Mushi. These were the clans of Levi according to their records. Amram married his father's sister Jochebed, who bore him Aaron and Moses. Amram lived 137 years. The sons of Ezar were Korah, Nepheg, and Zikri. The sons of Uzel were Mishael, Elzaphan, and Zethri. Aaron married Elisheba, daughter of Aminadab and sister of Nahshon, and she bore him Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. The sons of Korah were Azur, Elkanah, and Abiazap. These were the Korahite clans. Eleazar, son of Aaron, married one of the daughters of Pothiel, and she bore him Phinehas. These were the heads of the Levite families, clan by clan. It was this Aaron and Moses to whom the Lord said, "Bring the Israelites out of Egypt by their divisions." They were the ones who spoke to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, about bringing the Israelites out of Egypt, the same Moses and Aaron. The next one is the Lord's command to Moses and Aaron. When the Lord spoke to Moses in the land of Egypt, he said, "I am the Lord. Tell the king of Egypt everything I tell you." But Moses answered, "You know that I am such a poor speaker. Why should the king listen to me?" The Lord said, "I am going to make you like God to the king, and your brother Aaron will speak to him as your prophet. Tell Aaron everything I command you, and he will tell the king to let the Israelites leave his country. But I will make the king stubborn, and he will not listen to you, no matter how many terrifying things I do in Egypt. Then I will bring severe punishment on Egypt and lead the tribes of my people out of the land. The Egyptians will then know that I am the Lord when I raise my hand against them and bring the Israelites out of their country." Moses and Aaron did what the Lord commanded. At the time when they spoke to the king, Moses was 80 years old and Aaron was 83. Next is Aaron's walking stick. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "If the king demands that you prove yourselves by performing a miracle, tell Aaron to take his walking stick and throw it down in front of the king, and it will turn into a snake." So Moses and Aaron went to the king and did as the Lord had commanded. Aaron threw his walking stick down in front of the king and his officers, and it turned into a snake. Then the king called for his wise men and magicians, and by their magic they did the same thing. They threw down their walking sticks, and the sticks turned into snakes. But Aaron's sticks swallowed theirs. The king, however, remained stubborn, and just as the Lord had said, the king would not listen to Moses and Aaron. The disaster strike in Egypt. The 10 plagues of Egypt described in the Bible book of Exodus were 10 disasters that God brought on Egypt when Pharaoh refused to let the Israelite nation live. The Israelites had been slaves in Egypt for 400 years until God sent Moses to deliver his chosen people. Pharaoh's heart and mind were so determined to keep the Israelite people in bondage that the Egyptians suffered great tragedy. The first plague is turning water to blood. This is what the Lord says. By this, you will know that I am the Lord. With the staff that is in my hands, I will strike the water of the Nile, and it will be changed into blood. The fish in the Nile will die, and the river will stink, and the Egyptians will not be able to drink its water. The second plague is frogs. This is what the great Lord says. Let my people go, so that they may worship me. If you refuse to let them go, I will plague your whole country with frogs. The Nile will teem with frogs. They will come up into your palace and your bedroom and onto your bed, into the houses of your officials and your people, and into your ovens and kneading throughs. The frogs will go up on your and your people and all your officials. The third one is nuts. And the Lord said, "Stretch out thy rod, and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt." When Aaron stretched out his hand with the rod and struck the dust of the ground, lice came upon men and animals. All the dust throughout the land of Egypt became lice. The fourth one is flies. The fourth plague of Egypt was of creatures capable of harming people and livestock. The Torah emphasized that the Arab only came against the Egyptians and did not affect the Israelites. Pharaoh asked Moses to remove this plague and promised to grant the Israelites their freedom. However, after the plague was gone, the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he refused to keep his promise. The fifth one is the pestilence of livestock. This is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, says. Let my people go, so that they may worship me. If you refuse to let them go and continue to hold them back, the hand of the Lord will bring a terrible plague on your livestock in the field, in your horses and donkeys and camels, and on your cattle and sheep and goats. 6. Boils. The sixth plague, miniature out of the Tachenberg Bible of 1411. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Take handfuls of soot from a furnace and have Moses toss it into the air in the presence of Pharaoh. It will become fine dust over the whole land of Egypt, and festering boils will break out on men and animals throughout the land. The seventh one is thunderstorm of hail and fire. This is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews says, let my people go, so that they may worship me, or this time I will send the full force of my plagues against you, and against your officials and your people, so you may know that there's no one like me in all the earth. For by now I could have stretched out my hand and struck you and your people with a plague that would have wiped you off the earth. But I have raised you up for this very purpose, that I might show you my power, and that my name might be proclaimed in all the earth. You still set yourself against my people, and will not let them go. Therefore, at this time, tomorrow, I will send the worst hailstorm that has ever fallen on Egypt, from the day it was founded till now. Give an order now to bring your livestock and everything you have in the field to a place of shelter, because the hail will fall on every man and animal that has not been brought in and still out in the field, and they will die. The Lord sent thunder and hail, and lightning flashed down to the ground. So the Lord rained hail on the land of Egypt. Hail fell, and lightning flashed back and forth. It was the worst storm in the whole land of Egypt, since it had become a nation. Eighth plague, locust. This is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews says, how long will you refuse to humble yourself before me? Let my people go, so that they may worship me. If you refuse to let them go, I will bring locusts into your country tomorrow. They will cover the face of the ground so that it cannot be seen. They will devour with what little you have left after the hail, including every tree that is growing in your fields. They will fill your houses and those all of your officials and all the Egyptians. Something neither your fathers nor your forefathers have ever seen from the day they settled in this land till now. Ninth plague, darkness for 3 days. Then the Lord said to Moses, stretch out your hand toward the sky, so that darkness will spread over Egypt. Darkness that can be felt. So Moses stretched out his hand toward the sky, and total darkness covered all Egypt for 3 days. No one could see anyone else or leave his place for 3 days. The last plague is death of firstborn. This is what the Lord says. About midnight, I will go throughout Egypt. Every firstborn son in Egypt will die, from the firstborn son of Pharaoh, who sits on the throne, to the firstborn of the slave girl, who is at her hand meal, and all the firstborn of the cattle as well. There will be loud wailing throughout Egypt, worse than there has ever been or ever will be again. The last topic, when Moses announced the death of the firstborn. When Moses said, thus says the Lord, about midnight I will go out into the mid of Egypt. All the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sits on his throne, even on the firstborn of the female servant who is behind in the handmill, and all the firstborn of the animals. Then there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as was not like it before, nor shall be like it again, but against none of the children of Israel shall a dog move its tongue against man or beast, that you may know that the Lord does make a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. And all these your servants shall come down to me and bow down to me, saying, get out, and all the people that follow you. After that, I will go out. Then he went out from Pharaoh in great anger. Thank you for listening to me.